All right, it says we're live. We'll find out. Hey, everybody, I'm here. Hopefully you are too. We'll see. I got to adjust some stuff. You guys come on in here. We're live. I'll give it a few minutes. If somebody's out there, let me know. Give me a sound check. Let me know audio, video. Make sure everything's okay. If not, we'll just wait and see. This was kind of a last minute deal. I was busy all day today. So I still have to do my Bunker Nation deal. We'll talk about all that. We're going to give it a few minutes for everybody to come in here. If you're out there, let me know. Do a sound and video check. Just get in the comments section. Come on in. Push in. Everybody push on into the comment section wherever you are. We're broadcasting on 5 different platforms or 6. So wherever you are, get in the comments section. Let me know if the audio and the video is okay, if you can hear me, if everything's working okay. Let me know, and then once we do that, we'll do the box thing and we'll get rolling. Up to you guys. Hopefully somebody's out there. I'm just waiting. All right, Donna's here. Anybody else out there wants to give me a sound check? Let me know if the sound and the video are okay. Then we'll get rolling. That's what we're waiting on. So we're waiting on you. Maybe somebody's already typed it in and it hasn't come through the internet yet. The top of my head looks like Orson Welles. All right, Frank says everything's good, so we're going to get rolling. Everybody come on in here, push on in, get in the comment section, say hello, tell me where you are. We're going to go do the box thing, and then when we get back, we'll start talking. All right, hello, everybody. My name is Michael Bunker. This is the Bunker Nation show. I'm going to be your host for the evening. I hope that you all are doing well. Make sure you hit the like button wherever you are. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're also subscribed, etc. But the like button is a great thing. Costs you absolutely zero. And what it does is it lets us know, or lets YouTube know that people like this. And it's supposed to help the algorithm, etc. Hello, Matt. Good to see you, Pat. Audio, video are great. Good. Hey, everybody. I got a big announcement to make. Some of you already saw it. We are full on. If you pay attention really close, you will not hear the pleasant hum of the Bunker Nation generator in the background. We are full on solar power right now, batteries. Of course, there's no sun out, so we're not actually receiving any solar power. It is possible, I don't think very likely, but it is possible we lose power during this show. We just got started. I got the power up at about 3:30 or 4 o'clock, so we only had about an hour of full solar, but the batteries were charged. On purpose, I'm testing everything. I got pretty much everything plugged in. I got this place lit up like Broadway. And so I'm running all kinds of power just to see how well we do. Looked real good when I started the show. So everybody, I want to thank you, give you applause for helping out with the battery projects and all that kind of stuff. We got other projects going on to expand and grow the Bunker Nation. Make sure you hit the like button. That's one way to expand and grow the Bunker Nation. Hey, if you have any questions or comments or anything you want to talk about, put them in the comment section from wherever you are. That way, we'll have more to talk about. Otherwise, it's going to be a really, really short show. I didn't plan any type of long, rambling rant. After last night, I was on that Primal Man show on YouTube. I hope you saw it. After this show is over, down in the description, I'm going to put a link to that episode I was on last night at 8 p.m. I was on there a couple of hours on the Primal Man show. It was fantastic. It was probably old school, 15 years ago, Michael Bunker. Hey, Primal Man is here. We covered a lot of bases. I got to cover the gospel. We talked about theology. We talked about what the Bible says about long hair. We talked about all kinds of stuff. Homesteading, power. We talked about animals. We talked everything. So you're going to want to watch that show. So I'm going to put a link down in the description. After this show, you can click on it and you can go watch 2 hours of Michael Bunker talking about all sorts of stuff. All right, so if you did not see it, you definitely want to go watch it. It was really good. Some of you who've only watched me in the last year or so, it was old school Michael Bunker. It was absolutely had no idea what questions were coming, and it could have been. And and it was. So you're definitely going to watch it. All right, I got a question from Pete, and he says, how many watts of solar panels do you have? Right now, we're running off 300. I said we're going to have some more expansion, and I think we are. I think I'm going to add or attempt to add another 100-watt panel. And then I may, if I can do it in the next 60 days, I would like to add 4 more batteries. If it's possible. If it's not possible, that's fine. We are ready to roll with what we have. I think that what we have will get me through any shows as long as we have moderate amount of sun and I have the generator as backup. So hopefully those power problems are over. We'll be able to power things up and do things. And so we're going to accelerate the Bunker Nation. Hopefully now I'm going to, since I got my batteries and all my cables and wires out of here, I'm going to start cleaning up the office and we're going to expand the studio, all kinds of stuff. But I would like to add 1 more 100-watt panel and maybe 4 more batteries. And all that will allow me to do is to have more and better lighting. And I would like to get a better camera and all that kind of stuff, more apropos to a better scale of YouTube show. What you can do, there are a couple things you can do. You can definitely hit the like button. You can definitely subscribe. Did you know that 51 or 55% of you who watch this show regularly are not subscribed on YouTube? You really ought to be. That's the way we grow the show. Do you run a big inverter or is everything DC? I have an inverter. It's not particularly big. I think the one that's on there right now is a 2,500-watt inverter. I used to have a larger inverter, but it got old and was quite expensive. And so the one I have now is really good, but I think it's like 2,500 watts. And it'll run pretty much everything I want to run. Maybe not everything at the same time, and I'm not doing anything that creates heat. So I'm not running a Keurig or an espresso machine. I'm not running a hair dryer or anything like that. Everything I'm doing is pretty much low wattage. I think probably the biggest wattage I got running right now is this laptop. And so these lights are all LED, so they're all pretty low wattage. And I'm trying to think of anything else I might have. I don't think there's anything else that's running really high wattage. On occasion, I have my Ryobi charger going. There's nothing going right now, charging Ryobi batteries, but I won't do that during the show. If you have any questions about solar power, alternative living, off-grid living, homesteading, let me look at my list. Theology, off-grid cooking, history, Russian literature, anything like that, anything at all, literature in general that you want to talk about, put it in the comment section and let's talk. Hello, everybody. Hello, Hava. Good to see you. Hello, Pete. Good to see you. Everybody come on in and say hi. We're doing all right. So that's what I did today. I wanted to tell everybody this. This is another update. I had intended 2 days ago to do chapter or book 2 of the Gentleman in Moscow Bunker Nation Book Club. I still have an intention to do that. The reason I couldn't do that today is because I got down here late and it just needs to, my mind has to be in the right place. So I'm going to plan on doing that tomorrow. So those of you who are partaking in the Bunker Nation Book Club and are reading A Gentleman in Moscow, definitely want to be here tomorrow for that. If you have not started, you still have plenty of time. Order the book, A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles, and get reading. You can get it on your device or whatever. You can start tonight. Matt M. says, just finished Turgenev, Fathers and Sons today. What a fantastic book. Turgenev is one of my favorite authors. I have, I'm kind of up in the air on what we're going to do for February for the Bunker Nation Book Club. Turgenev, Fathers and Sons is apropos to our time, definitely appropriate for the time that we're in. Another Turgenev that I had talked about perhaps doing, and I think I've got it around right here somewhere, is his short story, Hunter Sketches, which I think would be kind of good because the difference between doing short stories, the Hunter Sketches, and doing Fathers and Sons. Fathers and Sons would be more like a typical book club, book teaching review. And if we did the short stories, I actually could probably read the short stories, the shorter ones, and then so people wouldn't actually have to have read the book. And then I could talk about them as we do them. Have not read any Russian literature. Where should I begin? Oh, there's a great places. Always, I would tell people to start with Solzhenitsyn's Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. Turgenev is a great place to start. You can always start with a book, and that could be our next month's book club, which is called Hunter's Sketches, which is short stories. It's a great introduction. And then I would also recommend Gogol, perhaps stories like The Cloak or something like that. Don't try to dive immediately into something Dostoevsky or Tolstoy's War and Peace, although you should read those books. You probably want to get your feet wet a little bit with some shorter stories, some Pushkin maybe. And you'll realize that it is probably the best literature the world has ever had. And you can dive in, and it's just wonderful reading. Chuck is here from mid-Georgia. Good to see you, Chuck. So to recap, tomorrow, today is Tuesday the 26th. Tomorrow, Lord willing, if everything goes well, we're going to do book 2 of A Gentleman in Moscow. It's just called a book. It's like the second section of the book. And if you have not seen part 1, just go into my YouTube channel, go down there into the live videos. Just about 2 or 3 videos ago, we did episode 1, which was book 1 of Gentleman in Moscow. And I will try, if I remember, to put a link also to that in the description down below. All right, y'all, I'm waiting for you. If you got questions, comments, topics, anything you want to talk about, a lot of stuff going on in the news. Nothing really worth mentioning. I am working on a Walkabout Talk About, where I'm going to talk about some things that really, really bug me, or some things that, some logic fallacy stuff. I've been running into a lot of that lately. One of the things I did want to mention, I don't mean to go off on a rant here. I have none intended. I have none planned. But I have a huge problem. If you follow me on Facebook, you know this about me. I have a huge problem with plagiarism. Let me tell you why. First of all, I'm an author. Second of all, I think it's one of the most dishonest things you can do. But I particularly am irritated in the time and period in which we live, because I get videos that get demonetized, and I get in trouble because the music industry is such a mafia type industry. They have basically captured the internet. So I have videos from years ago where I was rolling cigars, and way in the background, you might hear some Cuban music, no words or anything like that. Those videos got demonetized because YouTube has a system where it just scans every video for anything that is copyrighted as far as audio goes. They have it locked down so that music artists own any venue in which their music is being played. If I go to the gym and some meathead is in there playing his music out loud, now the gym I go to, they're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to have the earbuds in, but they always do. There's never been a time when I've been up there with somebody else where they're not playing their music out loud. The minute they start playing their music, whoever the music creator is owns that space. They own it. I cannot sit there and talk to you on a live video from the gym, or record something, or record a video that has nothing to do with anything else going on there. If that crap is playing in the background, YouTube or Facebook will demonetize that video and perhaps even take it down with a copyright violation. They are so powerful and so strong, they have declared ownership over any airspace in which some meathead is playing their music out loud. Something is wrong with that. There used to be a thing called fair use. So if somebody used a small snippet of your creation, they weren't stealing it, they weren't monetizing it, they weren't actually getting anything from it. But I could sit here and I could give you a quote from Shakespeare, and I don't have to pay Shakespeare's descendants in order to do it. Even somebody who's a modern author, there's a certain amount that you can use without engaging in copyright infringement. The music business has gotten to the point where if they can faintly hear in the background Eddie Money playing through some meathead's iPhone, they go, we own every place where this can be heard. Everything that happens in this space we own. You're not allowed to make money at all while our music is playing. And that really does suck. And so let me get to my point. So it bothers me when I am subjected to that. And as a writer, we have no such protections. We have no such mafia. People rip off my work all day, every day. You can go right now, don't do it, but go on YouTube and you can search up my book, Pennsylvania, which is being made into a major motion picture. And there are probably 4 or 5 people who have stolen the audio book and they put it on YouTube and you can go listen to it. They just stole it. And YouTube doesn't scan for literature and say somebody stole this guy's work. They don't care. And if I try to get them taken down, the entirety of the burden of proof is on me. I've got to go and jump through a bunch of hoops to prove to them that I wrote a book that somebody else was ripping off. YouTube doesn't care about writers. Pardon me, Amazon doesn't care about writers. Facebook doesn't care about writers. And so when I go on Facebook and I type a post, almost everything you'll notice that I put on Facebook is original content put up by me. So even when I go and they pop up your memories, right? I only usually repost memories of stuff that I wrote. My Facebook page, for the most part, is about things that I create, pictures that I take, videos that I take, things that I think, philosophy, and all that kind of stuff. Jokes and irony. People rip it off. They just copy paste it, and I'll see it because I see their feed, and it comes up, and they didn't even put my name on it. Normally when that happens, I'll contact them and say, listen, I don't have a problem. That's what the share button is for. By the way, everybody, this is a lesson for you. On Facebook or social media, the share button allows you to, you don't even have to ask permission. You can share what somebody posts because what it does is it captures it and it attributes it to the person who actually wrote it or said it. You just hit the share button. If you find yourself copy pasting, you're almost certainly stealing. You're stealing somebody else's thoughts and work, and you shouldn't do it. And if you do it, hate to say do, but if you do it, put quotes around it and put on there who said it. Attribute it. So I've gotten onto one guy 2 or 3 times about stealing stuff. He finally got the concept that he's not supposed to steal it. But now what he does is he takes people's work and he quotes it and he says, from another. He posted a long one the other day from a friend of mine who's an author. And he didn't say, he knows who he got it from. The guy's name is on his original post. Why is he putting from another? He's not even giving attribution to the person who wrote it. That's the way that it works. You're supposed to attribute stuff when you steal it. I have no problem with you guys sharing my stuff. I don't have any problem with that at all. Just tell people where you got it. I'm not saying that we want to have some kind of cult mafia like the music people do, where somebody who's not even that good, like Gangnam Style or something like that, can declare ownership over our entire airspace of anything, even something that doesn't have anything to do with it, just because one person wants to play it out loud. I'm just saying, on Facebook, use the share button. Don't copy paste. And if you do, attribute it to the person you stole it from. End of rant. That's all you get. Let me read through the questions here. Any update on the production of Pennsylvania? Not really any updates, other than the fact that I have received money for the option, and we are still rolling. So things are still moving. We are still waiting for COVID-related delays. So hopefully 2021, we're going to start seeing some motion again. We were this close last year when COVID hit. So California is opening up. There's another whole story. Interesting, isn't it, that California and New York are deciding to open up their economy right after the new president is inaugurated. Isn't that a coincidence? I was shocked. Let me attribute that to Casablanca. Shocked to find out there's gambling going on in here. Charlie says, we can't be puppets of the China Communist Biden Congress. Judges are districting your country and your lives for the destruction. Okay, I don't have any idea what all that meant, but I appreciate it. Announce the Fair Use Act at the beginning of the video. So many channels do. I don't know if that'll work, and I'm not going to risk getting demonetized or getting kicked off or getting a copyright strike because I make a statement about fair use. My biggest problem is I want to do workout videos in the gym, and there's always some guy in there playing Eminem, Lose Yourself, real loud, and you will lose yourself if you play Eminem's music and you get sued. They're supposed to have that stuff. If you're in the gym, play it through your earbuds. You're not supposed to be playing it out loud. That just gives Eminem ownership of all the airspace of anyone that can hear that music. All right. He may think he will lose someone's following if he lets know who he got it from. He probably does, but I put out a message, and my message is true and will continue. If I catch you doing it, I'm going to unfollow you. I'm going to unfriend you. And if you keep stealing my stuff, then I'm going to have a huge problem with you. I have no problem with you sharing my stuff. No problem. Everyone out there, share away. When I post something, just hit the share button or copy paste it and just say, this is from Michael Bunker. That's all I ask. Hello, Diane. Good to see you. Wardogheim is here from the blue skies of Montana. Apparently back from Mormon country. He's back in Montana. Good to see you guys. Hey, it's so good to be back. I've been gone for a while. Been busy. Well, I went up to Lubbock and worked with my 77-year-old dad who worked me into the ground. He's fit. And he worked me into the ground. We did sheetrock, which I promised everybody and myself I would never do again. And then a month or so ago, I went up and did sheetrock up in Arkansas for my son. And then my dad, it was cool. It's a cool thing. He was basically, we call it the Harry Potter room. There's a little hidden room that was underneath his landing from his first floor. And the builders just blocked it in. They just closed it in. It's like there was a body in there, but there wasn't. And there was no reason to not make use of that space. And so my dad knocked through the wall and ripped it all out. And then we moved all the plumbing and squared it up and put sheetrock in there. And he's going to make it a nice little, like a little workbench area. It's a cool architectural accent area in his house. And I, being the dutiful son, believing that you should honor thy father, went to go help him. And he worked me. I hate sheetrock. Pardon me. I hate sheetrock. I hate it. I will not have it in any building that I own. I don't have any sheetrock in any of our buildings. All right, if you have questions or comments or any topics, if you have something you want to talk about, if you have questions you want to ask, go ahead and get them in. Otherwise, it's going to be a really short show. I just wanted to update everybody. And if you're tuning in late or you just got here, tomorrow night, Lord willing, I'm going to do the Bunker Nation Book Club episode 2 of A Gentleman in Moscow. Stay tuned for that. I'm also going to be recording a walkabout, talk about with some things I've really been wanting to talk about. And that may go up tomorrow as well. I am finishing the editing for the other channel, the fitness channel, for the Bunker skillet cake. It's been done for a while, but every time I came down here to work on it, something came up. It was cloudy. It was muddy. We had snow. We had rain. I finally got the solar. If you just tuned in, we're on full solar now. All 8 batteries are up and running. I might try to get 4 more if I can do it in the next 60 days and maybe add 1 solar panel. When's the B.O.B. video coming? What's B.O.B.? Trying to think of what that is. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. You have to help me out. When's the B.O.B. coming? I don't remember what B.O.B. is. Wardogheim says, I just got my copy of A Gentleman in Moscow, so I better read up. Yeah, and you don't have to read the whole book up front. We already did the episode 1 of book 1 of the book. The book is divided into 5 books, I think, and so book 2 will be tomorrow. Oh, the bug out bag video. Okay, that's coming. I might try to record that this week. I've got everything ready finally. And like I said, because I got all the batteries out of here, got all the cabling out of here, solar panels are up and running, I can start cleaning out this office. I got so much stuff stacked in here. I couldn't do anything because I had all this stuff that needed to get moved. So now I can start getting all that stuff out of here. The Bunker Nation is going to expand. All of us together. We're going to work together. We're going to expand it. We're going to get us some more platforms. We're going to get, I've already talked to my web guy. He's totally redoing the website. We're going to be trying to get the podcast up on Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff. So when you're in your car, you might be able to just listen without watching. All right, if you have questions or comments or anything you want to talk about, topics, anything in the world, history, literature, whatever else. I just wanted to come on here and update you and let you know everything was okay. We're back at it. We're back at the helm of the Bunker Nation. Got a bunch of stuff done, and I'm going to be working on videos every day. The Lord wills it. So let me know what you guys want to talk about. If not, we'll call it a night. We're already coming up on 26 minutes. So if there's anything else you want to talk about, let me know. For those of you who are new, by the way, I was supposed to greet all of you future people. If you're a future person and you're watching this, future people are the people who are watching this when it's not live. If you're watching this in the future, welcome. I appreciate you tuning into the show. If you enjoy it, if you appreciate this free content, hit the like button. If you're feeling generous, you could subscribe. We're up to, I think, 2,035 subscribers, and we're going to try to get that trajectory going up. I did a live show last night for the Primal Man show, about 2 hours. It was fantastic. One of the best things I've done in a long time. Really got to talk about a lot of things. And so if you want some old school turn of the millennium Michael Bunker when my mind was intact and I could sit there and talk for hours about any topic anybody brought up at any moment, go watch that. I'm going to put the link after the show's over down in the description of this video. Usage of silver coinage. Where do you sit on that? I'm all for it. In fact, I highly encourage it. I got asked this on a show not too long ago. I'm all for coinage in general, but particularly silver, because I think silver is going to be more exchangeable, more readily usable than gold. But I'm all for it. And I think it's traditionally has held up its value. And it's also, like I said, it's a ready exchangeable asset. So people will be taking it. They'll be taking it for bread, and they'll be taking it for bullets, and they'll be taking it for butter. If you're me, you might even get some salt. So silver's a good idea. Hava says, it's good to see you. Haven't been on Facebook. Haven't missed much. Everybody over there is crazy. They are completely crazy. Everybody just switched opinions right after the election. So all of the people who spent the last 4 years saying, admit it, he's your president. Just admit it. They're now like, not my president people. They just swapped uniforms. And we're getting daily reports from the right about everything that Biden is doing to destroy the world, just like we were from the other side in the 4 years of Trump. So somebody blew a whistle, everybody changed uniforms, and that's all you missed on Facebook. Other than the Bernie memes, the Bernie with the mittens. And so I actually thought about getting a picture where I have these mittens and sitting there, but I thought, you know what? I don't want to encourage this behavior. This same think cult of everybody doing the same thing at the same time. We try to be different here at the Bunker Nation. We try to think and thrive and survive, and that's what we do here. So if you're new to the show, we do entire episodes on logic fallacies, reasoning, how to think, survival, off-grid living, bugging out, preparedness, all kinds of stuff. We could talk about theology. We can talk about literature. We could talk about anything because we encourage the whole thinking mind, not just specialization so specialized that people are like insects. All right. Matt says he's got the audiobook. Awesome. I need to get the audiobook. I really want to hear it. I've heard the audiobook of that is really, really good. You guys tell me now, and if you're a future person, tell me in the comment section, what book would you like to see us cover in the Bunker Nation Book Club for February? Right now, the two options are Turgenev, Fathers and Sons, which is a very appropriate topic for us to talk about in the time that we're in. And then Turgenev also has the 100 Sketches, which the reason I would choose it is because it's a wonderful introduction into Russian literature and short stories. So you get a gist of why they're so good. And so those are two options, but there's a dozen other books out there we could be doing. You guys make your suggestions in the comment section now. If you're a future person, put them down in the description, or excuse me, the comment section after the video is over. And so we'll look and see if you guys want to do something in particular, then we can definitely do that. Yeah, Ward Out says, my inbox has gotten over full of the, you see this? It's a crime. I know. And both of them don't understand that they're the same. They're just the same. And I understand they don't think that they are, but they are. All right. How do I reconcile suicide of a loved one and God's will? I'm not exactly sure what aspect of it that you're talking about. God's will, first of all, there are two wills in God. We have the God's decreed will, which is that which comes to pass. All of that which comes to pass has been decreed from eternity in God's decreed will. And we have God's declared or commanded will. And so, for example, so that you can see the contrast in those things, God commanded Pharaoh to let his people go. So that was his commanded will. But he said plainly, I have hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he won't let my people go. Because it was his intention, as it says in the scripture, to get glory on Pharaoh and the Egyptians. And so he hardened Pharaoh's heart. There was no need to harden Pharaoh's heart if it might not have occurred that Pharaoh would have let the children go. So God did not want Pharaoh to let the children go. He wanted to get glory on him by showing his power to the Israelites and to the rest of the world through the scripture. And so, although I send you my condolences for the suicide of your loved one, I'm sorry that that happened. I can't even begin to consider what that's like and the grief that you must be going through over that. We have to understand that God's will, first of all, is that we would never sin. That's his commanded will, that none of us would ever harm others or harm ourselves. We would love one another. We would live in our original pre-fall bliss and love and comfort. But that was not to happen because it was God's intention through the history of the world to make manifest his son and to glorify himself through the church throughout all time. For this reason, God permitted sin to enter into the world, and through sin, death, darkness, sin, all manner of grief and hardship. And so we all have to go through that. The Bible said that all of us, that is, all of the elect, only through great tribulation enter into the kingdom of God. We all suffer. We all suffer grief. And it is a part, an understanding of God's training ground that this earth is not supposed to be a rose garden. It was once. It was a beautiful place without grief and without tears and without pain. But we ruined it. And for that reason, God intends to train us and to train our minds and our hearts in this world. And for that reason, we go through grief and sorrow. Some people are not capable, or for some reason, the world becomes too much for them, and this sinful world claims its own. And so, very, very sorry to hear that. And yet, God's will is absolutely done in all things, and that's how it's reconciled. If it was God's will that Adam would never have fallen, that sin would have never entered the world, had that happened, there would have been no manifestation of the Messiah, of the perfect love of God through Jesus Christ, and so it was going to happen, and that's how we reconcile those things. I don't expect this to be satisfactory. It's what the Scripture says, and that's all I can do is tell you what God thinks about it. All right. Notes from Underground. Don't know what that means. Sorry, I may have lost the context in that one. Unless you're talking about a book. All right. It's not Satan's domain. It's God's domain. Satan's allowed to operate in it. All right. Go Eagles. That's right. The Lord willing, we'll be moving in that direction. And I will be Go Eagles. I'm starting to look a little Goa. Hold on just a minute. My battery on the laptop's not plugged in. Let me plug it in real quickly so that we don't lose power. All right. I'm back. For those of you who are just tuned in, we're fully on solar power. You do not hear the pleasant hum of the generator in the background because I finally worked and got all the batteries hooked up, cabled, everything. This is the first time since 2016 that we are on full power from the solar power system. Thank you all for those of you who helped. So many of you helped. And by the way, we continue to need your help. So if you want to, oh man, I keep forgetting to tell you. We're redoing the Bunker Nation page, the at michaelbunker.com. If you can see it right there, if my head wasn't in the way, go to michaelbunker.com. Coffee will be up probably in the next 48 hours. It's going to be very, very, very limited for the first couple of weeks just because I haven't been able to. I'm trying to get all the things, bags and labels and all that kind of stuff ready. The coffee is out of this world. And so I do want to talk a little bit about that in a minute if there's something else, unless there's something else. Yes, Prince. He's a prince. He's not a king, but he's a prince of the power of the air. That's correct. What does Goa even mean? I haven't Googled the definition. Goa is the name of a character from my book, Pennsylvania. Goa Eagles. And he got the name because he found an old ancient towel from the Philadelphia Eagles. He was in the Pennsylvania area that said Go Eagles on it. And the way he read it was Goa Eagles. So he changed his name to Goa Eagles. And that's in the book Pennsylvania that they're making into the movie. The character Goa, who has become a major character in the book series and in the movie, it's a possibility. I haven't been promised anything, but I am going to get to audition for the part. So my body recomposition over the last year has all been a part of possibly getting to play in the movie. So that's what Goa means. All right, if you have questions or comments or anything. So the deal with the coffee. And I've explained this a couple of times, but I want to explain it to you again. Let me tell you what the Bunker Nation coffee is not. Yeah, the coffee is going to be great. You're right, Primal Man. All right, and so I'm not insulting anybody else's coffee. I love coffee. I love all kinds of coffee. I'm a coffee lover. I am not competing with Black Rifle. I'm not competing with any private label coffee. Let me tell you how this works. Most coffee is mass produced. Some of these companies have become very, very big companies, and they're capable of running a whole lot of coffee, tons and tons of coffee. They may have 25 or 30 different brands or types. For the most part, it's a mass-produced industrial product, like bacon. All right. So when you go to the store, they will have the cheap, the worst thin bacon, and then they'll have all the way up to the thick sliced stuff that's a little bit more expensive. The best bacon you can buy in the store is not even in the same category as Michael Bunker bacon. Those of you, there are people out there watching this right now who have been blessed enough to have Bunker bacon. I'm going to get back to coffee in a minute, but I'm trying to explain a principle to you. Bunker bacon, I take the best sides of pork that you can possibly get or grow, right? The best meat possible. It is never frozen. I use ancient techniques, and there's a video on this channel. Go just look up Michael Bunker Bacon. There's a video of how I do it. It is a long, drawn-out process. I use a 12 by 12 stone smokehouse. I cure the bacon. I smoke the bacon. I hand package the bacon, and I send the bacon out. It is very expensive. I always sold out every time I had bacon. Always sold out. But it is not even comparable with the best bacon you could buy at H-E-B or you could buy at your grocery store. It is a billion times more involved making it, and it's basically it's time travel. You can actually travel back to the days of Little House on the Prairie or 100 years earlier of what bacon was like when it was packed in barrels and brought over to the New World. All right? That's the way that I do things. When I sell mesquite coffee, it is mesquite beans that we picked right here on the land. We dried it by hand. Every bit of it was done by hand. Bunker Nation coffee is like that. It is. I have personally selected the blend and the location of where the beans are coming from, the roast of it, everything. This is not just my French blend. It is not just my espresso blend. It just doesn't say dark roast. It is actually coffee that I had personally made by a man, not a big company. It is not. So I get emails all the time, messages all the time from companies that want to private label stuff, supplements, protein powder, and coffee. You can contact them and you can have private label coffee within a month with your own label on it, and you can sell on your website. I'm all for entrepreneurship, and I have no problem with anybody who's doing that. Just don't try to compare the price of that with the price of Bunker Nation coffee, because they are not even in the same ballpark. It's just not the same. It's like, it's just not. So the coffee is going to go up for sale. It is not cheap. It's not going to be cheap. Lord willing, the price will come down as we're able to order more. We can get more different types, but all of them are going to be done the way that I want them done. I won't put the name Bunker Nation on there unless it is that level of quality. Another thing is, not everybody likes the same thing. Some of you like, oh, don't make it bitter. Some of you are like, yeah, I like some of the bitterness. And the bitterness is part of the flavor profile that Americans have done away with. You may not like it. You may order it. You may not like it. Sorry, we're going to get more as time goes on, but we're just getting started. And I just want to make sure the quality is up to what I expect. And so I'm sorry if you like, Folgers. Don't order it if you like Folgers. It's going to be a handmade from the ancient techniques way of roasting, and that's the way it's going to be. All right. So, Lord willing, next 48 hours, we're going to get the page up there. You're going to be able to order. I'm going to be getting the product packaged up and shipped out. What does mesquite bean coffee taste like? It tastes, it's very coffee-esque. And so you won't drink it and go, this is not coffee. So, people sell chicory or they sell coffee made from a million different things. It's not coffee. It tastes like some kind of roasted tea maybe, but it does have a coffee flavor to it. A little bit of a hint of cinnamon, not particularly full as far as thickness. It's not a full-bodied coffee, but it's delicious. I love it. And so I started making it for myself, and I would be drinking it on my show or drinking it, and people wanted to order it. So when it's available, and it's only available seasonally, we don't get mesquite beans every year. When we get a good crop, we harvest it in June, July, and we get it dried. We get it, we roast it. We use a hammer mill for grinding it, and we package it up, and I'll make it available when it's available, which will probably be in the summer. All right. No. The mesquite bean coffee is non-caffeinated. It does have a not the upset stomach caffeine part, but it has an alert. There's something in it that helps manage our glucose level or your I can't think of the word. It's very moderate on blood sugar, and it will give you an awareness raise, so you will be more awake. But it's not caffeine, and it doesn't give you the. Some people have problems with their gut and stuff with caffeine. But that's the Mesquite coffee, not the Bunker Nation coffee is going to be caffeinated. All right, let me see what we got here. I just need a little coffee with very little caffeine. The lighter the beam, the more caffeine. Well, this is not going to be light. So try it if you want to. All right, if you guys have any questions or comments, get them in right now. Get them into the comments section. Type them in. If you're a future person, greetings. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're feeling generous, subscribe to the channel. Share it with people. Find videos in the Bunker Nation library of YouTube videos and share it with people and ask them to subscribe. That's the best thing we can do to help grow the channel. It is absolutely true what I told you for a year before we hit 2,000, and that is after 2,000, your videos tend to get recommended to more people. That's actually happening. We're actually seeing an uptick in traffic, and so you guys can all help by doing that. So we got more videos coming out. I'm making a fitness video. I'm making the cake video. I'm making the bug out video. Tomorrow I should be recording a walkabout, talk about video. We're doing a lot more content. We're up. We got power now. Lord willing, that will be able to, and I got backup power with the generator. I don't want to get cocky because bad things happen when you do that, but I'm just telling you, I think things are going to be picking up with the Bunker Nation, and I appreciate all of that. Make sure that you're, if you're not already doing it, that you're subscribed to help support the show. Go to, I got to get my hands right, michaelbunker.com. Hit the partner button and see what happens. Scroll down there and see what you can do. Coffee is full of antioxidants, and it's, yeah, absolutely. It's not only that, but it's actually one of the best thermic foods that you can eat. It actually, drinking coffee, you will burn more calories than not drinking it. It causes you to burn more calories. Coffee actually does have calories. I hear people say all the time it doesn't. It's a nominal number of calories, maybe a couple calories per cup, but it will burn more calories than exist in it. It actually has a thermic effect. It's very good for you, especially if you're involved in fitness. It's one of the best pre-workouts you can have. Definitely get up and get caffeinated in the morning, but coffee is really, really good for you. What is a good start to study philosophy? There's a couple of places. You have to be, first of all, I just tell people to be careful. A lot of philosophy is vain nonsense, and it is anti-Christian in nature. It is an attempt merely, and I know my chair squeaks, but I need to get a new chair. It's an attempt by the enemy to provide another reason for the existence of the world and all those types of things. However, the study of it, thank you, War Dog Ham, I appreciate it. The study of philosophy is always valuable because you want to know what other people think and you want to know where their thinking came from. Let me turn around here real quick. I'm going to find a book I'm going to recommend to you. If I can find it just off the bat. I got some things in the way. Here we go. This book might be a little bit dusty. Now, those of you might be familiar with this set of books here. This is 11 book set of Will and Ariel Durant's The History of Civilization. I recommend you read all 11 books. It's a 4-foot-long bookshelf. But if you're interested in philosophy, this is by Will Durant, The Story of Philosophy, and it gives you an overview of philosophy. All right. And it's got a lot about the great philosophers and all that. Highly recommend this. You can get it on Amazon. The Story of Philosophy by Will Durant. Again, the caution is that just because somebody came up with an idea of the world, most of them are really, really bad. Just like Instagram and Twitter philosophy. It's not just bad philosophy. It's actually antichrist. Most of the philosophy you'll ever see come across that people use to boost themselves up or to encourage others is actually really, really bad advice. It's not just wrong, but it's actually a narcissism class. It's a class in narcissism. So Will Durant is awesome to read. I'm not going to tell you that he's a Christian person or that he understands the history of the world, because he does not, but he is very fair in his description of things. So he's very fair. So start from the very beginning. I think the first book is our Oriental Heritage, book 1. Perhaps you may not be able to read through all 11 books like I have, but I definitely recommend read in them and find things in there that you're interested in and read them. All right. If you guys have questions or comments, get them in here. I want to thank War Dogheim again for that super chat. The way that super chat works, for those of you who are on YouTube, down there by the comment section where you actually type stuff in, a little dollar sign, you can click on that. If you ever want to throw us $1, $2, $5, whatever, just say, thank you, or howdy, or, get yourself another 89-cent Ozarka water bottle so you can fill it up with your rainwater, whatever. All right. If you guys have any questions or comments, get them in, or we're going to call it out. We're at 51 minutes. It's been a really good show. I appreciate you guys tuning in. All of you, after this show is over, give it about 5 or 10 minutes, hit refresh, go down into the comment section. Not the comment section where you've been typing up heretofore, but go down in the comment section, just say, hey, good show, or hey, it sucks. Whatever you want to say I like your sweatshirt, I want to get a Bunker Nation one, or whatever you want to say, go down there, type that in there. And here, tell you why, because YouTube counts comments as part of whether or not they think your show is popular or not. I tell people to do this at every show, and maybe 4 or 5 people do. It would be awesome if all 20 or 25 or 30 of you, whoever are watching this, all you who are watching, future people who are watching this, would just type in a few words, comments. Just say, I'm typing in this comment, whatever you want to do. I appreciate it. Hey, everybody, appreciate you guys being here. As always, God bless you. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, probably around the same time, about 8 p.m., for the Bunker Nation Book Club, episode 2 of A Gentleman in Moscow. Don't think you have to have read the whole book to participate. Just tune in, and I think you'll like it. As always, God bless. I love all of you, which is the reason I do this. And if I don't see you again tomorrow, which I should, I'll see you when I see you. I appreciate you. God bless.